Ever wondered how much it would cost to travel to Ibiza for a week? Picture Ibiza, a sun-kissed island paradise known for its pulsating nightlife and stunning beaches. A place where the music never stops and the sand feels like powdered sugar under your feet. A destination that offers a blend of relaxation and excitement, creating a unique cocktail of unforgettable experiences. It's a dream, isn't it? Well, we're about to make it real. In this video, we provide a detailed breakdown of the costs for a week-long trip to Ibiza. First things first, getting there. How much does a flight to Ibiza cost? Well, the answer isn't a simple one. The cost of flying to Ibiza can vary greatly depending on several factors. One of these is your location. The further you are from this Mediterranean paradise, the more you should expect to pay for your airfare. If you're jetting off from London, for instance, you can find flights for as little as £100 during the off-peak season. But if you're flying from, say, New York, you're looking at a starting price of around £500, again during the off-peak season. The time of year you choose to travel also plays a significant role in the price of your flight. Ibiza's peak season, from late May to early October, will see flight prices soar. So if you're looking to save some pennies, consider visiting during the shoulder seasons of April to early May or late October to November. You'll not only enjoy cheaper flights, but also avoid the bustling summer crowds. Another factor to consider is how far in advance you book your flight. As with most travel plans, the earlier you book, the cheaper your flight will likely be. Last-minute flights can sometimes offer great deals, but it's a risk. For those who prefer certainty over spontaneity, booking in advance is the way to go. Lastly, the airline you choose can also impact the cost of your flight. Budget airlines often offer the cheapest fares, but don't forget to factor in additional costs like baggage fees and onboard meals. Meanwhile, full-service airlines might have higher ticket prices, but they usually include these extras in the fare. In summary, there's no definitive answer to the cost of a flight to Ibiza. It can range from £100 to over £1,000, depending on various factors. So when planning your trip, consider these variables to find a flight that suits your budget and travel preferences. So depending on where you're traveling from, expect to set aside a significant portion of your budget for the flight. Once you touch down in Ibiza, you'll need a place to stay. But how much does accommodation cost in Ibiza? Ibiza offers a wide range of accommodation options to suit every budget and preference. You can choose to stay in anything from budget hostels to mid-range guest houses and even top-tier luxury hotels. Let's dive into each of these options. First, let's talk about budget hostels. These are perfect for those looking to save some money without sacrificing comfort or location. Hostels in Ibiza typically have shared rooms, but many also offer private rooms for a slightly higher price. You can expect to pay anywhere from €15 to €30 per night for a bed in a shared room, while a private room might set you back around €40 to €60. Next up, we have mid-range guest houses and B&Bs. These offer a bit more privacy and comfort than hostels, and many come with extras like complimentary breakfast or even a pool. Prices for these types of accommodations vary, but on average, you're looking at around €70 to €100 per night. And finally, for those looking for a truly luxurious experience, there are plenty of high-end hotels and resorts to choose from. These places often come with a host of amenities like spas, fine dining restaurants, and private beaches. The cost for such luxury? Expect to pay anywhere from €200 to upwards of €500 per night, depending on the hotel and the time of year. So whether you're a budget backpacker looking for a cheap place to crash after a night of partying, or a luxury traveler seeking a high-end resort with all the bells and whistles, Ibiza has something to offer you. And remember, prices can fluctuate depending on the season, so it's always a good idea to book your accommodation in advance to secure the best deals. As you can see, accommodation in Ibiza can vary greatly in price, depending on your preferences and budget. Food is an essential part of any travel experience. But how much should you budget for meals in Ibiza? Well, let's dive right into it. On the budget-friendly side, you can find a wealth of tapas bars and local cafes where a meal could cost as little as €10 to €15. These places offer a taste of authentic Spanish cuisine that's as kind to your wallet as it is to your taste buds. Now, if you fancy a more high-end dining experience, Ibiza has plenty to offer. From upscale beachfront restaurants to swanky rooftop dining, you can expect a meal here to range from 50 to 100 euros, depending on the place and what you order. Remember, these costs are just average estimates and actual prices can vary. It's always a good idea to do a bit of research and plan ahead. So whether you're a foodie or on a tight budget, Ibiza has a range of dining options to suit your needs. Ibiza is renowned for its nightlife and outdoor activities. But how much do these cost? Let's dive into the heart of what makes Ibiza so magnetic: its entertainment and activities. The island throbs with a pulsating energy that draws in people from all over the world. From throbbing dance floors to sun-drenched beaches, let's break down the costs of these enticing activities. First up, clubbing. Ibiza is home to some of the world's most famous nightclubs. The cost for entry varies depending on the club and the event. But on average, you should expect to pay between 50 to 70 euros for a ticket. Once inside, remember that drinks can be expensive, with cocktails often costing upwards of 15 euros. For those who prefer the sun and the sand, a day at the beach is a must. The good news is that lounging on Ibiza's beautiful beaches is completely free. However, if you fancy something a little more luxurious, beach clubs offer sunbeds and parasols for hire. The cost for this beachside luxury can range from 20 to 40 euros. If culture and history pique your interest, sightseeing tours are a great way to explore the island's rich past. These tours often include visits to Ibiza's UNESCO World Heritage sites, like Dalt Villa. Prices for these tours vary, but you can expect to pay around 30 euros. For the adventurous souls, you might want to try out some water sports. Jet skiing, parasailing, and scuba diving are all popular activities. Prices for these can range from 40 to 100 euros, depending on the activity and duration. And let's not forget about dining out. While we've covered this in more detail in Scene 4, remember that a meal at a mid-range restaurant can set you back around 20 euros. So whether you're dancing the night away, basking in the sun, or exploring the island's history, Ibiza offers a range of activities to suit all tastes and budgets. Keep in mind, these activities can add up, so be sure to factor them into your budget. Besides flights, accommodation, food, and entertainment, what other expenses should you consider? Well, let's take a look at some of the other costs that often slip under the radar. First off, transportation within Ibiza. While the island is relatively small, getting around can add up. You might want to rent a bicycle or a scooter to explore the island at your own pace. Depending on the season and the type of vehicle, this could cost you anywhere between 30 and 50 euros per day. Alternatively, you could use public transportation, which is efficient and affordable, with a single bus ticket costing around 2 euros. Next up, let's talk about travel insurance. It's easy to overlook this while you're dreaming about sunsets and beach parties, but it's an essential part of any travel plan. It can cover anything from lost luggage to medical emergencies. The cost of travel insurance varies widely, based on factors like your age, health, and the duration of your trip. However, for a week-long trip to Ibiza, you might expect to pay around 20 to 40 euros for a basic policy. And of course, let's not forget about souvenirs. Whether you're picking up a local craft for yourself or a gift for someone back home, it's nice to have a little extra budget for this. The cost can range widely, from a few euros for a postcard or a keychain to several hundred for a piece of local art or jewelry. Now, let's do a quick recap of the total costs. Flights, depending on where you're coming from and when you book, can range from a couple of hundred to over 1,000 euros. Accommodations can be as low as 30 euros a night for a budget hostel, up to several hundred for a luxury villa. Food and entertainment can add another 50 to 100 euros per day. And then there's the cost of transportation, travel insurance, and souvenirs. So as you can see, a week-long trip to Ibiza isn't exactly cheap. But don't let that discourage you. Remember, travel is an investment in experiences and memories. And with some careful planning and budgeting, you can make your Ibiza dream trip a reality. To sum up, a week-long trip to Ibiza can cost you a pretty penny, but with careful planning, it can be an unforgettable experience that's worth every cent. And there you have it, your comprehensive guide to the cost of a week-long trip to Ibiza. But remember, these are just estimates. Your actual costs will depend on your personal preferences and the choices you make during your trip. Whether you're a budget backpacker or a luxury traveler, Ibiza has something to offer everyone. And no matter the cost, the memories and experiences you'll gain are priceless. So start planning your dream trip to Ibiza today. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more travel tips and guides. And if you've been to Ibiza, let us know in the comments section how much you spent and what your top tips are for saving money. We love hearing from our community. Until next time, safe travels.